right now. And I apologize in advance, those of you that have been waiting for those recordings on YouTube. I know there's been a couple that were missing, should be updated by today. Now, these sessions, we do teach our KV Core Success meetups 3 times per week, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You can go and enroll for more of these sessions by scanning the QR code on the screen. I do want to let you know there might be some changes to this schedule coming next year, so be prepared for that. Now, besides scanning the QR code on my screen to go and sign up for more of these sessions, you can also head on into your KV Core platform and go to your KV Core training calendar on the right-hand side of that dashboard, and you can go and enroll in these sessions there. All you have to do is choose the time zone which best applies to you. And again, they're available every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can roll in for one or you can roll in all of them. Now, additionally, through the live training calendar, I like to remind you folks that there is links here to Inside Real Estate's Facebook discussion group and our YouTube channel up here at the top. I did already mention that these sessions are recorded. They are posted to the YouTube channel. But if you want to know what the session topics will be ahead of time, we do try to post that in the Facebook group. Since it's the beginning of the week, let's look and see what we're in store or what's in store for Wednesday and Thursday's sessions. The lovely Heather of Done For You Services usually likes to post a little link, a photo of the upcoming success meetup topics. So tomorrow you can expect to have Heather with you guys to talk about increasing SEO and traffic to your KV Core site. And then Thursday, I think it's her first appearance on a KV Core success meetup. My fellow trainer, Kelly Kalimlin, is going to be talking about custom pages to make your pocket listings pop. So very website heavy week this week. We do often find that that is a popular topic at these success meetups. So that's what we have in store this week. Now, these sessions are tips, tricks, and Q&A. So while we've got something to talk about here today, our topic of the day, of course, if you have any questions about your KV Core platform, please feel free to ask them in the Q&A or chats. And we want to make sure we're getting to those too, because this is a session for you guys to help answer the questions that you have about your platform. So if your questions are related to today's topic, I'll probably try to weave them in as we go through our presentation today. If they are about something else to do with your KV Core platform, still feel free to let me know. I might save the answers till the end, but feel free to pop those in either one. I tend to notice the chat before the Q&A, but use whichever one makes more sense to you. All right. If I haven't introduced myself already, my name is Mariel Ortiz. I'm a product trainer with Inside Real Estate. And I was just with you guys last Thursday. We also talked about holiday planning with some scheduled mass emails. I'm back today with a topic on Very Merry website updates. And if you've been in a session with me before, you'll know I like to create a handy little support guide, something you guys can take with you that'll have valuable links on the topics that are talked about here today and just kind of an outline of what we're covering. So I'm going to share this guide out in the chat and I'll talk about what's in it today. All right, so that guide is in the chat. You should be able to click that link in the Zoom chat to open this guide up on your end. And, bookmark this for later or just leave it up on your screen. Now, I have included a link to a support article right at the top on how to add falling snow or a holiday background to your website. And that article will really walk you through how to do those processes. I've actually even taught, I believe it was last year around this time, I taught another success meetup on adding that falling snow and holiday background. It's pretty simple to follow along with the guide. You can also watch the video, but we're going to get a little bit more advanced today. We will talk a little bit about updating just the overall appearance for the holidays. I will say one of my favorite things to do lately is to design things for the KV Core platform in Canvas. We'll talk a little bit about creating your own backgrounds using Canva. And then more importantly, well, it's not that it's not important to, or not fun to update your background for the holidays, the appearance, the aesthetics of it. What's really going to be beneficial for your SEO, for your contacts, for your leads visiting your site is spicing up your site with some additional content. So I always think holidays are an excellent excuse to add a blog post, maybe some custom pages on your KV Core website, and you can kind of add these additions to your website. And if you wanted more materials, maybe links or something to share in a monthly newsletter or in a holiday email that you're sending out to contacts and leads, you can link them back to these custom pages that we'll create today on our site, just for more added value and another excuse to drive those consumers back to our sites. All right, so that's kind of our plan for today. I do believe last week Heather talked a little bit about creating landing pages for your holiday events. I might also tie in at the end, once you add these additions to your KV Core website, it's not a bad idea to post about them to generate some interest on your social media. So we might at the very end talk a little bit about landing pages and text codes to promote those pages. I'll also mention again, I always include a couple articles, short videos at the bottom. This YouTube video is the one that I mentioned hosting last year about adding fall and snow to your website. And of course, at the bottom of this guide, I'll make sure to pop in today's recording link. So while it will get posted to YouTube, if you want this recording link as fast as you can possibly get it, this is usually where I add it first, usually within a few hours by end of day today. It'll be added to this support guide. All right, so let's start at the top. Let's talk about some fun things to add to our KV Core websites. Now, if you are brand new to the platform and you're not even quite sure where to go to find your KV Core website, it's going to be, or a quick and easy way to find it is by heading on over to the upper right-hand corner of your platform where you're going to find your name in that corner. Opens up a little hidden menu, and you'll usually find your website's usually about the third or so icon down, this little globe icon take you to your site. Now, I've already added in the falling snow, a holiday background. I changed the custom colors, and I added in some custom pages as well. So for that falling snow effect, again, the support article is linked in my guide. They provide you with the code. It's a pretty simple copy and paste. You head on over to your Web IDX, and that's where you can go to update that. So let's talk a little bit about where to go for these updates I have on my site here. So in Web IDX, in the left-hand side of your platform, if I head on over to website settings, that's where I did a lot of the basic aesthetic changes of my site. The coding that I have in there, so if you grabbed that guide that I have linked at the article I've linked at the top of the guide, that'll show you exactly where it is that you're popping this in your Web IDX. So for the falling snow animation, you're really just copying this code. Also popped in the chat, why not? Copying this code, and you're going to put it in your custom header section of your website settings. So here it was, Web IDX. If you hover over it, the website settings is at the bottom, and custom header, I believe that's under your custom navigation section. If you go and scroll on that, it might be under template. And another little pro tip as well, if you're scrolling through your website settings, there's a lot to search here through. Now, this isn't something that's exclusive to KV Core, but a trick that I always like to use if you're using a PC, Control F on your keyboard will open up that little find and control box. So if I'm looking for my custom header, I'll just start typing it in at the top, and it's going to show me all the places in this website settings that has custom header mentioned. So here it is. Here's where I pasted in that code, and you just click save. Little pro tip with this, add yourself a reminder to your calendar once the holidays are over, or feel free to keep it up through winter to remind yourself to take it down. Now, here in website settings, up at the top of general, I just scroll down a little bit to get template color. This is where I went to change my custom color. That's going to change things like, you know, these little bars and dividers in between that little search bar. If I go to my search tab as well, you'll notice it's this deep green color. It's kind of the accent color that I have going all around the page. After a brief but dramatic pause, you'll see it over here on the right. So that green color. Really a little fun trick that I like to do sometimes is to match my color to whatever I've got as my background image. And just a little fun tip, you can always use this little water droplet icon for primary color and hover over wherever you want to grab a color from. So if I want to grab one of these yellow shades or a nice deep green shade, I can pull from whatever I've got as my main photo image. So just a little pro tip there. I'm not going to save that. We'll just leave it and it'll leave it as the same. Now I created some custom backgrounds. The support article I have linked does have some holiday background videos. So you could use a standard photo image as your background. You could add a YouTube video as you like as well. And they've got the background image coding here. So you really just kind of grab that code. And again, that's going to go in your website settings under where you'd pop in a YouTube video. The guide will walk you through how to do that, where we've got a video on it. Now you can use other videos than the ones that are listed here. I do recommend making sure that they are, you know, kind of free stock videos. You don't want to get in trouble for stealing someone else's video, but you could post your own as well. And then you'll notice as well for these videos, it's giving you the ID, not the entire code. We don't want things like commercials and things running in your YouTube background. So just the video itself we want to play. Now, there's pros and cons to using a video as opposed to using just a standard image like I have for my background right now. Again, this is just a flat image. Video, obviously, very attention grabbing. It gives a really professional feel. But I will also say that, you know, for some users, depending on their website services, you know, and how fast their internet runs, that sometimes solo images or images rather than a video might load a little bit better on some people's computer. So whichever you prefer. For this background image, I had a little fun with it. I actually grabbed a free stock image off of, I think it was Pexels, I want to say. It might have been Unsplash. In my guide here, I've got a couple of recommendations here. Pexels, Unsplash, you can head to them and search for tools or search for high quality photos. They're all free stock images. For the most part, you'll see if there is a charge. It'll let you know if you have to pay before downloading. But got some great images here. I just went and I downloaded them. You can search for holiday, for Christmas, for winter, whatever kind of theme you're looking for. Ideally, of course, you want to organize it by landscape photos. We want them to be horizontal photos if we're adding it as our KV Core background. And then, you know, I usually try to go for larger photos as well. I have included exact sizing recommended for your background images. So most of these probably won't be a perfect fit right out of the get-go. I will mention, you know, when you go to download or upload, I should say, a background image onto your KV Core platform, it does mention the sizing right here. And if your image is a little bit large, usually you can kind of move it around and choose which area of the photo you want to focus on. So I'll give you a little example real quick. Let me grab a just a large photo right here. So you notice this doesn't really cover the entire photo. The edges are kind of cut off. If I hit this little pencil icon, I can adjust what is, the primary part of the photo. So maybe I want it more focused up here. Maybe I want it to start at the bottom, and I can hover and confirm before I upload that photo. Now, I took a photo from Pexels, or it looks like I grabbed one probably from Unsplash. And if you wanted to jazz it up even more, again, just a simple background photo would be beautiful here. You've got a lot of text going on. You probably don't need to add a bunch. I wanted to play around with the options and see what that looked like. So I did take that photo and I put it into Canva. And I did actually resize it, and I added in the text here on the right that says "'Tis the season to be jolly." And it's all pretty easy to do. And I will mention I'm using a free Canva account. I do not have the pro or the paid version. I was able to do all these here. So let's quickly talk about what I did here. So we've got the exact sizing recommended mentioned both in your website settings when you go to upload an image, or again, if you grab my guide, it's referenced there. If I'm creating a design in Canva, you can actually choose a custom size. So custom size, I happen to have this one saved. This is one I've recently used. So you can just type in the width and height there if you want to. And if I had downloaded an image to my computer that I wanted to use for this background image, let me just go and click on my uploads. This is where I could go to upload an image myself. I could go and I can upload a file from my computer. Now, I've already got some images uploaded here, so I can go and I can grab that image, drag it over, and you'll notice if you drag it in the right spot, kind of towards the edges, it'll actually move it to fill that entire size that you cut out here. So really easy to make it the correct size for your background. And then additionally, maybe I want to add in some text. I just played around with some of the recommended text options here. You can search in fonts and combinations, or even in Elements, you can search for Christmas, and it'll give you some pre-created fonts. I used "'Tis the season to be jolly." I dragged it over, but I could use any of these. So let's see, "Happy Holidays," go and drag it and put it wherever I want. Now, again, keep in mind, with most of your backgrounds here on your kvCORE websites, you're going to have your photo and your name in the center of your screen. I know for some websites, your photo and profile information might be down here by default, so check your own website. If you got an open space here, you could absolutely put your text in the center, but the way mine is set up, the template that I'm using, not really where I want to put any text. It's going to be right behind my head and right behind the text that's there. So I knew I wanted to make mine off to the side. Feel free to play with it in a couple of places. For me, I found that I wanted to move it just a little bit to the right of center and a little bit upwards. And of course, again, you can reposition it if you need to. And then kind of the final thing that I did, and feel free to create with different fonts. You can add effects to your fonts, but I think all I really did was I changed up some colors. So I add a nice, beautiful holiday red here. And I like the effects to affect lift. Phil makes it a little pop a little bit and kind of helps it jump out at you from that background. And then all I have to do is download that image and upload it into kvCORE. So just some fun background image ideas. Now, again, what we really want to do is, create some content for our websites. Changing, the overall aesthetics is, a really fun item to do. But I do think that if you're going to dress it up for the holidays, add in something like a custom page or custom category. Add in a blog post, something that's going to drive consumers there. So I added a custom category to my website. On the right-hand side here says holiday headquarters. And I actually made 4 different custom pages for you guys, different ideas here. So I added free Christmas list printables for kids. Let me show you what I mean by free Christmas list printables. So again, using Canva, if you look for different, so if I go back to say the home page of Canva and I look amongst the templates, if you type in Christmas or holidays, you're going to get a lot of results. And something that I saw that was really popular in there was Christmas wish lists. So if you've got kids, and you're wondering what it is that they want for Christmas, or you are someone who encourages them to write a letter to Santa, there's a lot of great designs on Canva here, and you can personalize a couple of your own. And then I downloaded them and added them to a Google Doc. And what someone could do essentially is print these out, and that could be just something cute that they use with their kids. So a really nice resource to parents, to any contacts or clients that you have that may be parents. So definitely a nice little add-on to have as a custom page. Does it have anything to do with real estate? Not necessarily, but again, you're kind of promoting yourself as someone who is great with families. I've got another custom page here, giving back during the holidays, that you care about your community. Volunteer work is a very popular thing to participate in, to post about, to add in at this time of year. So having a page like that shows that you're involved in the community. If you know any locations local to you where there are Santa meet and greets, that's also another, kind of popular community-based event. It could be something that you add a custom page about on your website. And then even things like tree farm locations, tree lighting locations. There's lots of different events that you could be posting about. And again, makes your website a resource. And while they're there, maybe they're checking out some houses too. But the point is, we want to get our name, our face in front of our customers whenever possible. And, multiple ways to do that. Sometimes people need a little reminder, oh yeah, this is my real estate agent, but they also provide me all these other great benefits. This is a great resource. And then you become that referral for their friends, their family members. So I'll show you a couple more examples that I added in here. So giving back during the holidays. Did a little Google search on, local events. Now here I really just added a link to Hands On San Diego for some volunteer opportunities for the holidays. You can repost this information. You can link to an outside page if you wanted to. If I head back to holiday headquarters to my custom pages, I also created a Meet Santa page. This one is actually a page on my KV Core website. I made another image using Canva. Now this is a pretty much already pre-created holiday template. If you go look on Canva and you type in Meet Santa, you'll probably find that image or one very similar to it. So I took this Christmas party image and I just changed the text to fit my needs. I just thought this was a nice looking image to use. So I did Meet Santa, gave some dates, multiple San Diego locations, read below for details, and then ideally you'd link in some addresses, times, locations, cost for some Santa events near you. And additionally, my last one, San Diego tree farm locations, same idea, uploaded an image that I created through Canva and then linked some locations below for Christmas tree farms locally. So let's talk about creating custom pages. How do we create one And how do we control where it links to? How do we add that to the custom navigation of our websites? So back in Web and IDX, first we got to create the custom pages. And that's going to be under website content. So I'm going to go click on website content here. And in website content, this is where you could go to manually enter testimonials. You can also connect Zillow reviews. If anyone out there has tried to create a Zillow review for your website or tried to connect those over, please note that you do have to manually create a testimonial before you can connect your Zillow reviews. So I can add in testimonials here. And then underneath that, service areas and SEO. If you didn't know, at the bottom of your website, by default, it's going to show all the service areas, the areas within your MLS. Now, if you don't service all these areas, feel free to remove those. But I think sometimes it's nice to have those links up. They do have some additional value for your consumers. Shows them a little bit of a market update in that area. And if you really wanted to get fancy with this service areas, little pro tip here, you can add in some meta tag keywords that make that page easier to find when someone's doing, say, a Google search. So we do have another Success Meetup video that you can check out about this, kind of one of the examples that I like to give. So we've got a lot of the California area covered. If I pull up Anaheim, I'm not going to even try it because I don't remember how to spell it right now. I guess I could flip through another page. But if I pulled up, say, Anaheim on this page, and Anaheim is well known for being where Disneyland is located. There we go, Anaheim. So a keyword that I could add here might be something like Disneyland and other information about that. And so when someone's searching for that, might help direct them to that page. So adding in these keywords can help those pages be more easily located. Now, let's head over to our purpose today, which is to create a custom page. And if you can't tell, I like to create custom pages for holiday events and add them in here. What I did for the custom pages you see on my website now is I went and I clicked the Add New Page button on the right-hand side. In green, can't miss it. Now, first thing we have to do is create a title for our custom page. Now, something to clarify here, Holiday Headquarters, this is considered a custom category. It's a whole category of pages. And each of these below, so free Christmas list printables for kids, giving back during the holidays, Meet Santa, San Diego Tree Farm locations, these are all individual custom pages. I could on my website display, just maybe a single custom page or a couple custom pages, or I could have them all fit into a category. It's really up to you. If you just wanted to take one of these ideas and use it to update your website, you can absolutely do that. Don't feel like you have to incorporate everything I've got listed here. And I've got additional website or additional suggestions added into that support article if you need more ideas to brainstorm. But what I've got here is a custom category and several pages within it. So I created each of the same pages or each unique page, and I put them in the same category. Let me show you what I mean here. So a page, it's going to need a title for that page. Now I've already created, Meet Santa. Let's do tree lighting events in San Diego. All right, so that's going to be the title of our custom page. And then I want to put it in its custom category. I've already created Holiday Headquarters, so that's the category it's going to fall under for me. Now, if you've created custom pages before, you also have to create a custom category, so you can choose from one you've pre-created. I could also easily put this in San Diego activities and highlight San Diego activities on my website. but I've decided to put them in holiday headquarters for today. If you've never created a custom page before, you're going to have to create a new category. And of course, again, name that category whatever you like. I would decide now, though, if you just want to display a page or if you want to display a whole category. You don't have to display a whole category. Now, for page contents, I can add in the content here, any photo images, any text, any links that I want to add here, or I could link this to an external page. So let's walk through those examples again. This one, San Diego Tree Farm locations, I've added in the content. So I've added in the photo image and I've added in the links to these locations. Whereas if you click on holiday headquarters and you click on free Christmas list printables for kids, that takes you to a Google Doc. It takes you to an external link. So it's not showing me anything, it's not showing me anything on my website. It's taking me somewhere else. So either way is fine. So for example, I could do a little Google search. Christmas tree lighting events near me or in San Diego. And I could, essentially kind of copy and paste some of these, reword them a little bit and put them in an article that people would read on my page. Or I could link them to an outside site. So I could grab that URL, say if that was what I was promoting here, and I could pop that URL in my custom page, and that's where they'd link them to next. So either way, but it's an either or situation here. Now, something to mention with the images that you use here. So again, I used images that I created using Canva. Again, I downloaded a couple of images that I liked off of Unsplash, and I added some text to them. Give you another example here. We've got Merry and Bright. I'll go ahead and I'll save that. May your days be merry and bright. And this one, if I go to save this right now, let's go ahead and save it and just show you what that looks like here. So let's go pop it out. We can go and we can preview it here if we want to. Probably on my next page here, tree lighting events in San Diego. And I can go and I can copy that, or I can go to that page. So if we go to the page, doesn't look like that photo saved. Let me go back real quick and play with this again. So should be under my holiday headquarters. Let me refresh here. Doesn't seem to like that. Not sure what's going on here. Apologies, folks. Might just be rejecting it because that photo is a little too large. I was going to show you a little tip and trick about resizing your photos, because you'll notice how this one fits nicely on the left-hand side here, whereas we've got resources and other information on the right-hand side. So you don't get the full length that you would get, for like a background image. So it's not showing it in here, not sure what's going on with my page right now. Might be taking a little bit of time to load. It's usually pretty instantaneous when you make these updates. But I want to mention, so for this photo example, I clicked on the little in content, I clicked on the little insert edit photo button up here in the upper right-hand corner. You can resize the image right here. So this is the image that it was downloaded with. I often find that downsizing it to, no longer than about 1,000 there tends to make it fit a little bit more nicely. So let's see if it's going to show me what that looks like now. Yeah, not sure why it's fighting me here today. But it's going to fit a little bit nicer in our photo. So let me go ahead. I'll mess around with one that's already showing on our screen. So this one, let's see with that photo image. If I select that photo image in this holiday custom page I've already created, click on the insert image button, you'll notice this one I've really sized down. Let's enlarge it and see what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then let's preview what that looks like on the website. So clicking on San Diego Tree Farm locations. Yeah, it didn't look like mine saved that sizing, but it will fill so much of the page, it'll look quite cramped. It's going to try to squish it in there. So just a little word of warning. What I'm really trying to showcase here is you might want to play around with the sizing a couple times. And you can always adjust that right in here. So right on within your post, when you're making those edits, you can click on your image and you can adjust that sizing here. So I'm going to put it back to that smaller size and resave that because that's going to fit a little bit better on my web page. Now, I recommend you to check these out on your phone as well and just make sure that they look how you want them to look when your consumers and clients view them. All right, so going back to our tree lighting event here, we were playing around with the sizing a little bit. You know, add in your text as well, your links. I want to point out again at the bottom, we've got some additional tags here called meta tag description, meta tag keywords, some extra options down here at the bottom. Now I can't just save this exactly as is, but I do think it's worthwhile to add a description and some keywords. Now I just mentioned meta tag keywords with your SEO page. As I mentioned, you could add in some keywords that make it a little bit more searchable. So to give you a little example of what I mean here, I typed in a few moments ago, I typed in Google, Christmas tree lighting events near me. And if you look on the Google search results, all these pages have a short little paragraph, a couple of sentences that mention what the page is about. The city will host the annual holiday tree lighting at the Regal Cinema Plaza, etc. That is essentially their meta tag description. And the highlighted words, the keywords, tree lighting ceremony, Christmas lights, Christmas tree. These are those meta tag keywords that are pulling up. So again, that's how your site, your pages are more easily found. So for the description, we'd add in a couple of sentences about, you know, what this page is showcasing. So San Diego tree lighting events. You know, click here for more details, whatever else you want to put there. You put something about the events, the time, the cost, whatever relates back to your real estate, you know, website. And then I can add some keywords as well. So San Diego, tree lighting ceremony, looks like it. That one's a popular one. Tree lighting events. And add a couple different keywords in there. Even add some maybe about real estate, add in, you know, your own name, your own information in there, and go ahead and save that. All right, now we've added some pages in here. Now I've already gone and changed my website settings so that way Holiday Headquarters is not only a custom category that I have for my website, but it's up here at the top of my header. So you can choose what displays up here beyond kind of the basic ones. All of your websites will typically by default have a search tab, a sell tab, If you have a lender involved, finance tab, and then you'll usually have a your agent tab. And by default, a lot of you guys will have a tab that says resources. Resources. So I can go back to resources, even though it's not a page up there. Resources are kind of there by default. Resources will house all your custom pages. So every time you create a custom page, it will technically fall under your resources. So here's all the custom pages I've created on my website. And you can see they're falling under their own individual categories. Oh, Christmas tree lighting events is showing up now. Looks just fine. Let's check Christmas tree farm locations. Yeah, you can see the photo is a little bit distorted here because I enlarged it. So it got squished. I'll probably go back and size that back down. All right, so creating the page is the first part, but to display it, so it's a clickable link at the top of our website. We'll go back to website settings. So going back to Web and IDX, this time we're going to website settings. And you can use that handy trick, again, Control F, and you can look for custom pages or custom categories. But I'll tell you right now, also on the left-hand side, if you click on custom navigation and scroll down just a little bit, this is also where you can choose your, custom pages, or it says resource page links, or custom categories or resource categories. So you can choose a combination right now on my website. So my search tab, my sell tab, my finance, and your agent tab, those are there by default. But on the right, I have hot listings. That's a category. Preferred vendors. That's a custom category. And holiday headquarters. I can have 4 custom pieces on here. They could be custom pages, or they could be custom categories, or I could have a combination of the two. So I've got 3 custom categories displaying on my site. I really just kind of like to eyeball it. If your categories or your pages have really long titles, again, they'll look a little bit smushed if you try to add a lot up there at the top of your page. So just something to be aware of. Feel free to add them and remove them if it looks a little cluttered. So I haven't chosen any individual custom pages. If I wanted to, I would select them here. So maybe I also want to put in my custom page for coming soon to San Diego. I could select that and hit save. And then for custom categories, if we pretend that holiday headquarters isn't up there, I can click into that drop-down menu here, and it's going to show me all the different categories I have, and I can decide what I want to display. I'm going to make sure holiday headquarters is displayed and click save. Now this, again, might not be instantaneous, but it usually is. So let's look and see. Yeah, I'll go and refresh this in a little bit, and we'll see if that custom page is going to show up. But all I had was coming soon in San Diego. All right. So let's take a little pause here, folks. Do we have any questions on anything we've talked about so far? Do you want more visual examples, more suggestions? Did you want to see another design example? Did you have questions about something unrelated to website updates? Feel free to share those out in your chat or Q&A, or if you're struggling to type it in fast enough, raise your hand. I'm happy to unmute you. I'm going to take a quick water sip while wait and see if there are any questions popping in. Okay. So just a little recap here. We talked about, kind of the fun decorations, things like falling snow, changing that background image, how to design some of your own using tools like Canva, Pexels, Unsplash. Additionally, how to add in custom pages. Now, we didn't actually touch on blog posts. Anything that you create as a custom page, you could also create as a blog post if you like. I'll show you that real quick. What I have is a blog post right now. Blog posts, when you create them, will usually show up under the Your Agent tab. If you go click on blog there, you'll see any blog posts that have been created. So I just added in a quick happy holidays. And this is typically where you type in whatever your content is. And then I'll mention your blog posts as well will usually, for most templates, show up on your home page as well. So if I go to my home page, I scroll all the way down towards the bottom underneath my listing carousels. We got latest blog posts down there. Oh, hi there, Abe. I've got someone in the chat that says they had a quick question about custom navigation. All right, Abe, you got my attention. You can chat that in, or I did give you the ability to unmute yourself if you wanted to voice that question out loud.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Good. All right. So when you went into custom navigation, I missed a few pieces of it.
Okay.
I added a custom page, and then am I just going into the resource page links and then resource categories tab? Those are the only two pieces I'm messing with.
That's all you really need to do if you want to have it displayed on your site. So
Okay.
again, if you created just one page and you want that page to be the one that shows, so say I just wanted tree lighting.
Right.
I can show that. Or if I wanted to show the whole category and any pages I create that fall under that category, I add it here and you just hit save. That's really all there should be to it. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, where will that show up then?
So once you have them added here, they should show up at the top of your website. So, oh, there we go. It just loaded that page that I had coming soon in San Diego. It took a little minute to load, but that was the page I had selected. Let's refresh it. Now that I've added, let's see, tree lighting events in San Diego as a page. Let's refresh it, see if that's going to show up. So it should change whatever I have displayed up here at the top.
Okay.
There we go. Now it says tree lighting events in San Diego. So that's really what you're changing by adding in those resource pages. Again, if you don't change that, you'll still have a custom page, but that custom page will only be seen kind of in your resources tab, which I'm not currently displaying a resources tab on my website.
Okay. Do I need to do anything with that custom page?
Are you talking about to promote it or?
Yeah, to have it actually post, because I went under custom pages. Maybe I didn't post it.
Do make sure that once you add that to your custom navigation that you make sure to hit the save. And then you should be able to refresh your website and it should post there. If you don't see it change immediately, give it a few minutes. I would say if after 24 hours, if it's really not loading, you've made sure to hit save. That sounds like a bug. I would let our support team know. But that's all you really have to do to have it posted to your website. And then I would say, you know, if this is a custom page that I wanted to share with other people, I might grab that URL and include that link in maybe a holiday email to my contacts or clients if I'm wishing them, Merry Christmas. I might say, hey, if you were looking for some events near you, feel free to check out my website. I've got a page about it. Or additionally, you could go and create some landing pages about your event, post that on social media and generate some activity that way.
Okay.
Anything else I can help you with?
No, that's it. I just I mean, is there a way I can preview the page, the sample page? I guess custom pages. Is there an option to preview?
So when you create a custom page and you save it in website content, even before you choose if it's displayed on your website.
Yeah.
So if I go back to site content, custom pages.
Yeah.
Essentially, I can just click that little go to icon on the right next to the left left of the edit button and I can jump to that page that way.
Oh,
But it will be posted to your site. So I would make sure that your text and everything looks okay before you go and save that, because there, is the possibility if you have that, showcase somewhere on your website that someone else could see it.
got it. I had it connected to a link, like a YouTube link.
That's a great idea.
So if so I wanted to, it's like a sort of like a video that I wanted to connect. Like also, let's say I have a new construction project or something going on that I wanted to post a listing that I wanted to post a video of. I could create a page for that, and then I mean that's what I try to do here, and I connected to a YouTube link. But when I clicked on that custom page, it just took me to a page. It didn't, like, it just says the title, but the page is pretty is blank.
Okay, so there's again a couple options here. So let's pretend I'm just going to grab a random YouTube video. I'm going to grab a success meetup here.
Yeah.
And say that this was the YouTube page I wanted to send people to or wanted to share with people.
Yep.
If I want it to be just something that's going to show on my website still, I can include the link in content. If I include the link in content, it's actually going to show up as a page on my website. Whereas if I use the link, you use the other option, the URL option, if I pop it there, that's going to redirect them to another page. So it doesn't create a page on your website. It just sends them to whatever that link is. So either or, there's options for both. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if I display it on the body like you just showed, it'll actually display on the page.
Yes, you'll see that YouTube box. I don't know that they'll actually, let's test this out real quick. Let me remove this from content. It should show the box. So let me give this a name. We'll call it testing YouTube here.
Right.
And I'll just put that under a category. We'll let that load on up. We'll go find our page and we'll preview it. So testing YouTube, let's go take a look. So it's going to load on up. And, oh, you know what? I don't think I made that link. There is a better way to do that. Apologies, folks.
Now there is a little tab for link. Maybe it needs to go.
Yeah, so you could make that a clickable link. Silly me, I don't know why I just copied and pasted that in there. I could make that a clickable link. Okay. And I could have that link open in the current window or a new window. Additionally, I could embed a YouTube video in there as well.
And how do you embed that? How do you embed the video?
So embedding a video, let's see. So if I want to embed a video in there, let's go ahead, and I usually like to grab just the, I believe for this, I'm just grabbing the code here.
Right.
Let me grab, I think we also have a support article on this topic because you're bringing up a great point here. So let me talk a little bit, or let me go and grab that information for embedding a video. It's similar to embedding a video into a blog post. So let me share this link out in the chat for anyone who's following along with us right now about embedding a video. So you can copy the embed code from the share section. So the embed code, here we go. You'll find it on the right-hand side. We can go and we can copy that embed code in. And with that embed code, you can take it back to your content and you'll use those little embed code link buttons. And that's where you can go and you can paste that in. So let's go back. Forget what I said about linking it. If you really want that, that YouTube video to show up on that custom page, we're going to back up just a couple steps. So again, we created its title, you give it a category, you're going to be in the content box here, page contents, and you're going to click that little embed button up at the top here. So that's what takes me to this page, says source code. And I'm pasting in here the embed link. For anyone following along, if I did that a little bit quickly, again, you find your video on YouTube. You can usually go to the share option underneath that YouTube video, and you're going to click the embed options. And this is what you're copying. You can highlight the whole thing or just click that copy button on the right-hand side. And that's what I posted in here. Let's go ahead and save it. There we go. We've got our video here. Let's save that page. Let's go take a preview of it. And should reload now that we've gone and saved those changes. Might take a minute or two again to update, but it will show that YouTube video. My website updates are just updating a tiny bit slow here, so apologize, but you can see it here. I bet you anything in a few minutes when I go back to check that page, it's going to show the video exactly like we're seeing right here in the center of the screen. But that would be the embed process. And that's a great point to bring up. I know a lot of you guys out there want to add videos to your custom pages. So I will add that as a link down here under other articles for you guys. So I'll make sure to add that support article in here. It is about blog posts, but I think how to embed a video into a blog is a really helpful tool to use, and it can be used for blogs or your custom pages. All right. Any other questions, folks, with our last few minutes?
That worked.
Perfect. Happy to hear it. Anything else that I can help you with, Abe?
No. So, what if I wanted to create like a market report on a monthly basis, right? And then post that video. And there's gonna be different regions I do market reports for. So, what do you think would be the best way to post those videos?
So I think we have actually done a really fun success meetup on video market reports. Not sure if you checked that out on the Inside Real Estate YouTube channel.
Okay.
But I would say, if you're already creating some for multiple locations, I think creating custom pages for those would be great. I might have something like a custom category for maybe each location, or a custom category called market reports. And then you could separate the pages by location. So either or, I would think would be great. And then, share that out with your contacts in the system. Maybe create a scheduled mass email, maybe tag everybody. If they're receiving market reports for a specific location, give them a hashtag in the system. So, you can also send that to them. You could pull up that whole group in mass and send them in a mass email. Or if you're looking to capture new leads with your video market reports, I might, create something like a landing page that says sign up here to be redirected to my video market report for the XYZ location. So those would kind of be some great ways to do it, just kind of a combination of tools with your platform.
Gotcha. Okay. So that would be the category right there. And then and I can just have different titles, which could be for, like, the category could be market report, and the title for each of them would be that neighborhood, right?
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, perfect.
Sounds great. That's a great add-on to your website. But so sorry, folks. We just reached the end of our time. So it looks like we're going to wrap things up for today. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you missed my guide, I'm going to pop this recording in there a little later today, but I'll share out the guide again in the chat in case anyone missed it. And thanks so much for joining. I wish you guys all lots of success with your KV Core platforms. Take care, everyone.